Hello and welcome, folks. This is the first session of my chess playing, and as you can see, I'm playing this. My name is Sumit Soren, of course, and I'm playing the white pieces. And my opponent is Swedish opponent. He's from Sweden, and he's playing the black pieces. And we play this game on chess.com, where you can play with lots of opponents around the world same time. And it's a really cool website, so you can log in and you can sign in, log in, whatever do. And it's a wonderful website to play chess with, and you can really improve on it. That's the most important thing. And the best thing about this website is that it allows you to play with so many options. Like you can play 15 minutes, you can play 4 minutes game, you can even play 30 minutes game, and so on and so forth. And we're playing here the 15 minutes game, and my ranking, as you can see, is 1342, and my opponent's ranking is 1324. It's very close, and doesn't mean that it's just 18-point difference, but that doesn't mean that he's weak and I'm strong. Anything can happen. So pretty close fight, pretty close competition. Let's see what happens. I have been practicing recently with the queen's pawn opening, and that is to say that the pawn goes up here, this place, probably d4, okay, the classical one, and then this pawn comes up here, classical queen's pawn opening. There you go. Okay, now a number of alternatives, though, which which we can try, but because the game is 15 minutes and I want to try something different. So I chose the Queen's Gambit. Okay, so with Queen's Gambit, this pawn up here goes there. Okay, some tension building here, because this you might be thinking this pawn can take up this particular pawn here at c4, I believe, and probably quite cause some trouble. But this pawn will go up, and this bishop will attack this red if it takes the black pawn. If it takes the white pawn, of course the bishop goes up and takes the black pawn. So that's the intention. Of course it goes on like this. So it takes the pawn over here, and obviously this pawn moves up here, attacking the bishop, attacking the pawn, and he just right away gives the defense. He brings up the queen into the game much faster. But I think this is a very, very weird move, actually, because you don't bring your queen so without seeing any intention, because all your pieces are trapped, and they except the one here and except the two knights, all are not in position to make moves. So without support, you just move your queen. It's a very bad move, actually. So the Queen's Gambit is very, very effective against this kind of moves. So the obvious thing would be the knight goes up here and attacks the queen over here, which exactly does. The queen is under attack, so I don't know what it's going to move, but probably he's going to put the queen here to attack the king. Okay, so to put much more pressure on this particular knight and make it immobile. So yeah, that is exactly what it does. But that's again a foolish move, because as you could see, the obvious thing happened here. The bishop gives a defense to the knight here, and the bishop can now be free. It can move here. No, it cannot move here because it's vulnerable. But then, of course, it can move here on any other place it wants. Actually, here as well. So it's very hard position for the queen now, because the knight will move up in a flash. Okay, and it will face the wrath of the bishop. So let's see what my friend does, my opponent does. He brings up the queen closer to attack the pawn over here, and once he wants to take a piece, because he's very sure about this pawn will go up. Okay, so the next move is attacking the queen right over here. But the queen has an option here to go for this pawn, but if it goes for the pawn, he has some real dangers in front of him, because this knight will go and kill this particular pawn over here, and then there's a check here, and the rook is trapped. Okay, so probably it will move the king to this place because it doesn't have any other option, and then I'll kill the rook. So the best thing to do is to get some support for this guy here, and that's exactly what it does. Moves up the queen to this place. Okay, and an obvious thing is that the queen moves here, and the thing would be they would have an option here to attack the pawn, because and also give some support, because it is without support here, and that's what the thing happening here. I give some support as well as kill the pawn here. This two-sided thing, just like killing two birds with one stone. And it has a lot of trouble here now. The black piece. The knight is here, so it can do anything at any moment. The bishop is giving support to it, and it has to pull up all other pieces. Probably this one, probably the best idea, I think, to bring up this knight over here, attacking this knight here, and the white knight here. Let's see what he does actually. He rather brings up the pawn here, attacking so he can sacrifice the pawn, but he's a petty sacrifice actually. But he can take and also as well attack this bishop over here. But he seems to forget one thing, because if my queen goes over here, he cannot take the cannot take the knight. Okay, that's exactly what I do. No, sorry, I'd rather attack the queen over here. Okay, so I'll rather take the queen. It's kind of trade-off. You take my knight and take your queen. So that's what is happening here. But, well, what are you going to do now? He cannot take the bishop right here because my knight is here, right? So he rather pushes behind his queen. He sees the obvious danger, also being the danger of being attacked by this position, the queen moving up here. So rather, just they have this very strong position actually, because you have the support of the knight, it has the support of the queen, it has the support of the pawn. Okay, well, let's see what happens next. It moves up, the knight moves up here, because obviously because of this pawn. Okay, this kind of safety measures that it take. And now time for attack. The bishop is attacked by the pawn here. Okay, then now what we're going to do? It's a very there are lots of places that a bishop can move. One, there's this place, there's that place, and there's this one too. But this will make the game more